I'm UFC Hall of Famer Pat Miletich.
I'm naturopath Doc Will Spencer.
I'm mindset expert Nicholas Spone. If you want to detoxify your cells, remineralize your body, and live up to your true health potential, you've come to the right place.
We are the Cell Saviors.
So Dr. Will, we've all been told that salt is bad, salt causes high blood pressure, all kinds of other issues, and at the same time, we're told that electrolytes are good. So in this video, let's touch on really quickly how to think about salt, how to think about electrolytes. And first, let's get into what are some of the symptoms of salt and electrolyte deficiency? What are some of the problems that people can have?
So some of the problems: fatigue, brain fog, thyroid problems, adrenal fatigue, peristaltic action issues like constipation and or diarrhea, cramping, muscle cramping, joint pain, joint discomfort. There's a huge list.
So do we know anyone that's not having some of those symptoms, right? I mean, it seems
it's systemically bad. It's rampant.
It sure seems like it. So why are salt and electrolytes so essential for this meat suit that we walk around in?
Well, we are a battery, a biological computer, if you will. So we have to have energy storage and the ability to release it as needed. And so without the electrolyte base, the salt mineral base in us, we don't have the storage capacity and we don't have the release as needed with a regulation.
So it's like a battery cell, and the energy has to go from one, flow through the battery, and without the electrolytes in the battery, that flow slows down and eventually stops, right?
It's like a lead acid battery. It has lead and zinc and acid. Well, we have acid in our digestive system, and we have a diversity of minerals, salt minerals that are supposed to be in us because we handle a lot of different frequencies, not just 12 volt, 60 hertz like your car. We have a diverse spectrum of frequencies that are constantly being triggered and moved and generated inside of us. So we need the diversity of all those minerals, salt minerals, to hold electricity, to create the electricity, to move the information, and to power our cells.
So what is the difference between a salt mineral, I'm going to say those, assume those are electrolytes as well, salt minerals, electrolytes, and just regular minerals?
So there's like 5 different kinds of minerals. There's the salt minerals, which is your electrolyte C minerals. There's the colloid minerals, which we talked about earlier. There's the industrial metal minerals. There's the natural minerals, and I can't remember that 5th one, but that we get the idea. So
sure.
you have the natural form, then you have the synthetic or the industrial forms that are the toxic forms.
And when you say industrial, is that the heavy metal forms as well?
Well, heavy metal, like the tetrafluoral whatever coming from the aluminum manufacturing, which they call fluoride. But that's an industrial chemical. You actually have a fluoride and a fluorine that are natural in a colloid form and a salt form as well that are necessary for life. The industrial waste product is not necessary for life. It's anti that.
Okay, so if we're focused on this in this video on the salt electrolyte minerals, right? Why can't we just get table salt out of our cupboard or go buy electrolytes on Amazon or at the sporting goods store? What's the difference?
So table salt or Morton's table salt, whatever, it's sodium chloride, which is sodium and chloride. Everything else has been stripped away. And then they add in usually an iodine, synthetic iodine as a preservative or to protect your thyroid from damage, because sodium and chloride all by themselves will cause damage to our endocrine system, mainly our thyroid. So that's your table salt. That's actually the salt that the medical system warns us is bad because it will cause high blood pressure. It will cause all kinds of other problems because it's not in its full spectrum natural form. It's in a complete manufactured state because all the good stuff, the other things have been stripped away. And then you have like Gatorade and these other electrolyte drinks where they're taking some of those things they stripped away and then putting them into the drink calling that electrolyte enhanced or enriched. So, which is still not good because you have 3 or 4 electrolytes they put in those drinks and calling them electrolyte rich when we need 90 of the different salt minerals or electrolytes to be really healthy.
So, okay, a good salt would have that full spectrum in a bioavailable, energetic form, correct?
Correct.
So let's think about, I guess, is that Himalayan salt? Is that Celtic salt? What are the sources that we need to look at?
So sources, there's been a lot of controversy lately over salts and sea salts and original where they originate from. For instance, the Celtic salts right now have massive lawsuits, like lots of lawsuits.
I've seen that.
Because of the lead and I believe arsenic levels are really high that are not in a natural salt form. They're in an industrial salt form, and the labeling laws do not distinguish whether it's a natural salt or an industrial salt, which is a waste product coming from the rain, washing the air from pollution. And so now people have gotten wise to that. And so there's lots of controversy around the industrial waste salt aspect in sea salt. So about 20 years ago, we did a study we looked at 125 different sea salt origins or beds or, sources from around the planet. And we look for those industrial waste salts like arsenic and lead and cadmium and things that were coming from the pollution getting washed down into the waters. There was only 2 beds on the planet that did not have those industrial waste salts in them. And that's where we source ours from, is those 2 non-polluted beds. And they have the full spectrum of 90 different minerals in an extremely high vitality availability to us as food and medicine, if you will.
So this is the Salt of the Gods product, which I take every day. It tastes incredible. I love it. I mix it in my water, and that replaces the need for those synthetic electrolytes. It replaces these, well, obviously table salt, but some of the other, in a perfect planet, they'd be great salts naturally from the sea that have been contaminated. And so the Salt of the Gods has that, recharges our batteries, gets rid of those symptoms that we talked about initially in this video. How much and how often should people take this?
Generally 1 to 2 teaspoons a day, believe it or not. We're that deficient. Like, we need that kind of for the activities that most of us do, for the state of health and recovery that most people really need, the recovery part of it. We need 1 to 2 teaspoons a day as an adult.
So this really isn't seasoning our food, this is a thing that we need to have every day for our battery, for our joints, our muscles to turn on, turn off, communicate information, and function properly, correct?
Correct. Yeah. So you can use it as a food enhancement kind of condiment, but to get 2 teaspoons a day or 1 teaspoon a day in, you got to supplement during the day. I'll put it in all my drinking water. I actually take a 3-finger pinch and put it in my mouth and wash it down a little. Plus on my food. I mean, we used to get it in our food a lot more in the olden days because we didn't have refrigeration. And so the sea salt was carried inland, using it in for like cabbage preserve or salt pork, or it's preserving meat. So we were
sauerkraut is just salt in the water, right?
Salt and cabbage pounded together and let set. It's literally like that. But we don't have that anymore in our diet because we have refrigerators and we have preservation methods like chemicals, sodium benzoates, and things that we preserve our food with. Now we don't use the salt, but salt used to be so important that we were getting it all the time in just the way we lived in our preservation of food.
All right, last question. So I heard somebody say that you should eat salt until it doesn't taste good anymore. And it's almost like the body has this mechanism that salt tastes good, tastes good, tastes good. Oh, too much I don't want anymore. Is that a good indicator for how much salt we should be taking?
Yes and no. I mean, it kind of is, but because of the lack of, for so long, generationally, we've lost really a clear indication that that's a good method anymore. Because a lot of people will take it. They have never taken sea salt as a supplement before, and they'll take and they go, case in point, it's so foreign now that theory doesn't necessarily work well all the time.
Excellent, Will. Well, I'm learning stuff from this that I wasn't anticipating, and we had planned this, so this has been great. So, salt of the gods is an essential part of a healthy lifestyle. The regeneration kit that we used to have did not include it, and we had talked and decided that it was such an important part of health and getting these electrolyte minerals in the proper form. We added it to the regeneration kit. It's great on its own. It's great on food. It's great in your water, athletic performance, sleep, digestion. It is essential to functioning optimally, and you're not going to get it at the grocery store. You're not going to get it in these electrolyte pouches. You're not going to get it anywhere outside of a few rare sources around the world. So if you're ready for the next level of functioning and immune function, salt of the gods is your best choice for that, right?
It sure is.
Thank you for listening to the Cell Saviors podcast. To learn more about the Cell Saviors mission or to buy the minerals and probiotics your body needs to thrive, visit cellsaviors.org.
This content is for educational and entertainment purposes only and is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Always consult a qualified healthcare provider before making health decisions.